Title: How One Man Built Africa's Biggest Workforce from Scratch, and the Recruitment Playbook. Everyone, Miss Part 1. Have you ever wondered how a single Nigerian businessman went from trading cement in bags to commanding a workforce larger than the population of some small countries? Picture this. It is 2005. Unemployment in Nigeria is biting hard, and graduates are walking the streets of Lagos and Ibadan with files in hand. Yet one company is quietly hiring thousands, training them, and turning raw potential into the engine of a continental empire. That company is Dangote Group. This is not just a story about job adverts and interviews. This is about how recruitment became a weapon for nation building. And if you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or trying to rebuild on social security, the Dangote Nigeria recruitment model might be the most practical business school you never attended. Welcome to part 1 of this 3-part series. Here, we will pull back the curtain on how Dangote Nigeria actually handles staff recruitment. We will look at the philosophy, the system, and the human side of hiring that most textbooks ignore. In parts 2 and 3, we will break down 8 concrete principles you can copy, 3 costly mistakes other Nigerian companies keep making, and the lessons that can change your career or business starting today. Why Dangote does not hire like everyone else. Most companies in Nigeria post a vacancy when someone resigns. Dangote plans 5 years ahead. Most companies screen for certificates. Dangote screens for hunger. The kind of hunger that turns a truckloader in Obajana into a plant manager 10 years later. Most companies see recruitment as an HR task. Dangote Group sees it as a supply chain. Just as they secure limestone for cement, they secure talent for growth. Think about that. While other firms complain there are no good people, Dangote built Dangote Academy, graduate trainee programs, and partnerships with technical schools. They were not waiting for the perfect 105 to land on their desk. They were manufacturing their own workforce. So how did they do it? Let us walk through the Dangote Nigeria recruitment story as a case study. Dangote Nigeria as a case study. From traders to talent builders, Dangote Group started as a trading firm in the 1970s, but the real shift happened when Aliko Dangote moved from importing to manufacturing. That decision changed everything about recruitment. First, scale. Running a trading outfit in Yaba might need 50 staff. Running Obajana cement plant, Africa's largest, needs over 10,000 direct staff and tens of thousands of indirect workers, drivers, distributors, technicians, engineers. You cannot fill those roles by poaching from competitors. That talent pool simply did not exist at that scale in Nigeria at the time. Second, skills gap. Nigeria has millions of graduates, but heavy industry needs specialized skills. Process engineers, industrial automation technicians, logistics managers who can move 1,000 trucks daily. The universities were not producing them in the numbers or with the hands-on experience Dangote needed. So Dangote made a choice that separates it from most other Nigerian companies. Recruit for attitude, train for skill. Here is what that looked like on the ground. Catch them young. The Dangote Graduate Trainee Program targets fresh graduates from Nigerian universities and polytechnics. Unlike companies that demand 3 years experience for entry level, Dangote brings them in raw. The logic is simple. It is easier to mold a new graduate than to unlearn bad habits from elsewhere. Dangote Academy. Located in Obajana, Kogi State, the academy is not a PR project. It is a technical and leadership school. Artisans, technicians, and engineers go through months of classroom and plant floor training. Many companies send staff abroad for this. Dangote localized it. Community-first hiring. When Dangote builds a plant in Ibese's Ibijuleki or Obajana, the host community gets priority for junior and semi-skilled roles. This is not just CSR. It is risk management. A community that feels included protects the plant. A community that feels excluded becomes a threat. Other companies fly in all their staff and wonder why they face unrest. Bulk recruitment, but structured. For plants and logistics, Dangote does mass recruitment, but it is not a free-for-all. that partner with state governments, trade test centers, and technical colleges. Candidates are screened, tested, and onboarded in batches. The system is military-like because the operations are military-like in scale. Internal mobility over external hype. Walk through any Dangote plant and ask the managers how they started. You will hear, "I joined as a trainee. I was a truck assistant. I was in the first academy set." Dangote promotes from within aggressively. That does two things. It keeps recruitment costs down, and it tells every new hire, you can be the next GM. Most other companies hire externally for senior roles and kill morale. How Dangote compares with other Nigerian companies? Let us be honest. The average recruitment story in Nigeria goes like this. A company needs a sales manager. HR posts on Jobberman. They get 2,000 applications. They are overwhelmed, so they filter by years of experience and foreign degree. They interview 10 people, hire one, and 6 months later the person leaves for a telecom. The cycle repeats. Dangote flipped the script. Other companies. Reactive hiring. Someone left? Let us replace. Dangote, pipeline hiring. We will need 200 technicians in 18 months. Start training now. Other companies. We cannot find skilled workers. Dangote. We will create the skilled workers. Other companies. See host communities as a problem. Dangote sees host communities as the first talent pool. Other companies. HR is a cost center. Dangote, HR is production. No people, no cement, no sugar, no profit. That mindset shift hits why Dangote Group now employs over 30,000 people directly in Nigeria and supports hundreds of thousands indirectly. It is also why their recruitment model is studied by entrepreneurs across Africa. Why this matters? If you are unemployed or underemployed, if you are holding this story hoping for a job, here is the uncomfortable truth. Dangote is not looking for job seekers. They are looking for problem solvers they can train. The difference matters. A job seeker says, I have a BSc. Hire me. A problem solver says, I see you are expanding your fleet in Ibese. I have a HND in mechanical engineering, and I am ready to start as a trainee technician. Dangote's system rewards the second person. And you do not need to wait for Dangote to call. Entrepreneurs can copy this model. Do not wait for ready-made staff. Build them. Underemployed people can copy this too. Do not wait for the perfect vacancy. Get in at the level they are hiring, then grow, which you will get in Part 2 and Part 3. In Part 2, we will break down 8 specific principles Dangote Nigeria uses to handle recruitment. For each one, I will explain how it works, why it beats the standard approach, and how you as an entrepreneur or job seeker can apply it if you are a one-person business in Ibadan or a graduate in Lagos. In Part 3, we will expose 3 major mistakes other Nigerian companies make that keep them understaffed or stuck with the wrong people. Then we will close with hard-won lessons you can use whether you are building a company, switching careers, or coming off Social Security. Your next step. If this first part opened your eyes to how real companies build real workforces, imagine what you will learn in the next 2 parts. Recruitment is not about luck. It is about systems, and systems can be copied. So here is my ask. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, or I will drop Part 2 this week with the 8 Dangote recruitment principles. We will use real examples, simple language, and action steps you can use on Monday morning. Do not just watch from the sidelines while others build. Learn the playbook. See you in Part 2. Title: The 8 Hidden Rules Dangote Uses to Hire Thousands, While Other Nigerian Companies Beg for Talent. Part 2. If Part 1 was the big picture, Part 2 is the playbook. You are about to see the exact thinking that lets Dangote Group recruit at a scale most Nigerian companies think is impossible. These are not HR buzzwords. They are field-tested rules that work in Lagos, Obajana, Ibese, and Lekki. If you are an entrepreneur, this is how you build a team that will not collapse when you grow. If you are unemployed or underemployed, this is how you understand what big employers actually want, so you can position yourself. If you are on Social Security and planning a comeback, this is how you think like a builder again. Let us get into it. No fluff, no theory. Just 8 principles, each explained, each compared to what other companies do. Principle 1. Recruit for tomorrow's factory, not today as vacancy. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Dangote treats recruitment like production planning. Before a new cement line is commissioned, before a new sugar refinery is built, the HR and operations teams sit together and ask, how many process engineers, how many technicians, how many shift supervisors would this plant need in month 18? Then they work backward. That is why the Dangote Academy and the Graduate Trainee Program run for even when there is no newspaper advert. They are stockpiling human capacity the way they stockpile limestone. The explanation: this is pipeline recruitment. You are not filling a hole. You are building a bench. By the time the plant is ready, the people are already trained, inducted, and waiting. No downtime. No panic hiring. How other companies do it. Most Nigerian businesses are reactive. A sales manager resigns on Friday, so HR posts a vacancy on Monday. They lose 3 months of revenue while they search for the perfect candidate. Then they overpay someone who is available, not someone who is right. They confuse urgency with strategy. What you can copy. Even if you run a small bakery in Ibadan, ask yourself, if I double my orders next year, who will I need? Start training your assistant to manage. Start teaching your delivery guy basic bookkeeping. Entrepreneurs do not wait for growth to hire. They hire for growth. Principle 2. Attitude over certificates, but never ignore competence. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Walk into a Dangote recruitment drive, and you will see HND holders, BSc holders, and trade test graduates in the same hall. A first filter is not first class only. It is discipline, physical fitness for plant roles, and a willingness to learn. The technical competence comes later. Inside Dangote Academy, they have learned that you can teach a hungry young technician how to run a kiln, but you cannot teach a lazy PhD holder how to show up at 5 a.m. for shift. The explanation: this principle solves the Nigerian paradox. Millions of unemployed graduates, yet companies say, no skilled people. Dangote decided that character and teachability are the raw materials. Skill is the refining process. How other companies do it. Many firms worship paper. Messi required for entry level. Must have 5 years experience for a graduate role. They screen out the very people who could grow with them. Then they complain that staff have entitlement mentality. You filtered for entitlement when you told a 22-year-old that only a foreign degree makes them worthy. What you can copy. If you are hiring, test for attitude first. Give a 1-week paid task. See who shows up, who asks questions, who owns mistakes. If you are job hunting, stop leading with your certificate. Lead with your work ethic, your proof of learning, your availability for shift work. That is the language Dangote understands. Principle 3. Build your own university before you complain about the school system. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Dangote Academy in Obajana is a full technical and leadership school. Welders, electricians, chemical engineers, and future plant managers go through structured training that mixes classroom, simulator, and live plant exposure. The instructors are retired plant managers and active engineers. This is not a 2-day seminar. It is months long. The result is a steady supply of talent that knows Dangote's machines, Dangote's safety culture, and Dangote's speed. The explanation: when you cannot buy what you need in the market, you manufacture it. Dangote manufactures talent because the Nigerian education system was not producing plant-ready graduates at scale. How other companies do it. The average company sends one staff to a 3-day training in Dubai and calls it capacity building. Or they poach from competitors and start a salary war. Nobody invests in building. Everyone wants to harvest. Then they wonder why loyalty is low. What you can copy. You do not need a campus. If you are an entrepreneur, your academy can be a Saturday training session for your team, a shared folder of SOPs, or a mentorship chain where your best staff trains the next. If you are unemployed, become your own academy. Learn the technical skill Dangote plants need: instrumentation, mechanical fitting, logistics software. YouTube is free. Trade centers in Ibadan and Lagos are affordable. Show up trained. Principle 4. Host community. First, then the rest of Nigeria. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Before Dangote Ibese or Obajana hires from Lagos, it hires from Ibese and Obajana. Junior roles, contract roles, and support services go to indigents first. It is structured. They work with community leaders, youth groups, and local technical schools. This is not charity. It is strategy. A plant that employs the sons and daughters of the community has 10,000 informal security guards. The explanation. In Nigeria, a business without community buy-in is a business at risk. By recruiting locally, Dangote reduces sabotage, builds goodwill, and cuts down on housing and relocation costs. It also creates a local supply of experienced workers for the future. How other companies do it. Many firms fly in all their staff from Lagos and Abuja. They rent estates, pay relocation, and then face hostility from youths who say, "You took our land but not our people." Projects stall. Millions are lost to shutdowns. Then they call it community wahala. What you can copy, if you open a shop, farm, or small factory, hire from your street first. Train them. You will spend less on supervision and security. If you are job hunting, pay attention to new projects in your LGA. Those companies will have a community quota. Be there early. Principle 5. Promote from within or watch morale die. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Ask around Dangote plants. The plant manager likely started as a graduate trainee. The logistics head was once a truck officer. The head of safety was a floor technician. Internal adverts come before external adverts. Staff see a clear path. If he deliver, I can rise. That is why people stay through the heat, the dust, and the long shifts. The explanation, internal promotion is the cheapest recruitment strategy. You spend zero on agency fees, you get someone who already knows the culture, and you send a message to every junior staff that the company is a ladder, not a ceiling. How other companies do it. The normal story. A company hires externally for every senior role. The message to staff is, you will never be good enough. No matter how long you work, talent leaves. The company then says, Nigerians are not loyal. What you can copy. As an entrepreneur, build a culture of next man up. Document roles so your assistant can act as you. If you are employed, become the person your boss can promote. Volunteer for the hard shift. Learn the machine nobody wants to touch. Visibility beats 105. Principle 6. Bulk recruitment with military precision. How Dangote Nigeria does it. When Dangote needs 1,000 drivers or 500 plant assistants, they do not interview one by one for 6 months. They partner with state ministries, ND, and technical colleges. They set a date, a venue, and a process. Medicals, trade tests, and documentation happen in batches. Within weeks, hundreds are onboarded. It looks like NYSC camp because the scale demands it. The explanation, scale requires systems. Dangote treats mass hiring like a military deployment. There are medical teams, testing bays, document verification desks, and induction halls. Chaos is the enemy of scale. How other companies do it? Most companies are terrified of bulk hiring, so they grow in slow, painful drips. Or they try bulk hiring with no system, and it turns into a bribery scandal, and they swear off ever hiring in numbers again. What you can copy. If you are scaling, design your recruitment like an event. Set criteria, communicate them, and run it in batches. If you are job seeking, watch for these bulk drives. They are your best entry point because the company is thinking numbers, not perfect 105. Principle 7. Data, not feelings, drive hiring decisions. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Every trainee at Dangote Academy is graded. Every driver has a telematics score. Every technician has a performance log. When it is time to promote or move people, they pull data. Who has the best safety record? Who has the lowest downtime? Who finished Academy top 3? That is who gets the nod. It reduces godfatherism and keeps the system credible. The explanation. In a company of 30,000, you cannot know everybody. Data becomes your eye. It also protects the process from politics, and it tells staff exactly what to do to grow, how other companies do it. Hiring and promotion are often based on "my cousin said" or "I like his face." No records, no metrics. So the hard workers get frustrated and leave, and the talkers stay. You can copy, track everything, even if you have 3 staff. Who closes most sales? Who has zero lateness? Use that for promotion. If you are an employee, create your own data. Keep a record of what you fixed, what you saved, what you improved. Data wins arguments. Principle 8. Recruitment is marketing, not just HR. How Dangote Nigeria does it. Dangote does not beg people to apply. They project strength. The plants are visible. The trucks are branded. The message is, "We are building Nigeria. Join us if you are serious." That attracts a certain type of person, the one who wants to build, not just collect salary. The graduate trainee adverts look like a call to nation building, not just a job. The explanation: top talent wants to join a winning team. By branding recruitment as a mission, Dangote filters for ambition and filters out tourists. How other companies do it. Their adverts say urgent vacancy, and must be able to work under pressure. It sounds like punishment. So they attract desperate applicants, not driven ones. What you can copy. Whether you are a startup or a job seeker, frame the work as a mission. We are trying to feed Ibadan with affordable bread. I want to be part of the team that powers Nigeria. Mission attracts mission-driven people. 3 mistakes. Other companies keep making mistake. 1. Hiring for today and crying tomorrow. They wait until the business is bleeding before they hire. Then they rush, overpay, and get the wrong fit. Dangote plans 18 months ahead. Others plan 18 hours ahead. Mistake 2. Outsourcing thinking to certificates. They use degrees as a lazy filter for competence and character. Then they hire well-dressed, poor-performing staff. Dangote tests for hunger and trains for skill. Others test for paper and pray for performance. Mistake 3. Ignoring the community and fighting it later. They set up in a town, ignore the youths, and then spend millions on police and Emopol when trouble starts. Dangote hires the community and turns potential protesters into protectors. Lessons learned. You can use immediately for entrepreneurs. Your first HR strategy is your training strategy. If you cannot afford to hire experts, afford to train beginners. That is how empires start. For the unemployed, stop waiting for the perfect vacancy. Enter at the level where Dangote and companies like it are hiring in bulk. Trainees, technicians, drivers, operators. Grow inside. The gate is wider at the bottom. For the underemployed, your current job is your academy. Master the machine, document your wins, and become promotable. Dangote's managers did not start as managers. 4 people on Social Security. The market pays for value, not for pity. Pick one skill that big employers need: welding, instrumentation, logistics coordination, HSE, and become good. The same system that built Dangote's workforce can rebuild your career. We have now laid out the 8 principles and the 3 mistakes. But principles without action are just motivation. In Part 3, we will give you the exact steps to apply this, plus the final lessons that tie everything together. So do this for me. Head to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Part 3 drops next, and I will break down how you can use the Dangote model, even if you are starting with zero capital in Ibadan, Lagos, or anywhere in Nigeria. Do not just learn history. Build your own. See you in Part 3. Title: From Jobless to Plant Manager, How to Use Dangote's Recruitment Blueprint to Rewrite Your Own Story. Part 3. You have seen the big picture in Part 1. You have learned the 8 principles in Part 2. Now it is time to move from interesting story to my new strategy. This is Part 3. This is where we turn Dangote's recruitment playbook into your personal or business action plan. Whether you are an entrepreneur trying to build a team that will not betray you, a graduate tired of "we will get back to you," an underemployed technician who knows you deserve more, or someone on Social Security looking for a dignified comeback, this part is for you. Let us close the loop. We will walk through step-by-step actions, the final lessons nobody tells you, and the mindset shift that separates people who watch Dangote from people who copy Dangote. Step 1. Think like a builder, not a beggar. What Dangote Nigeria does? Dangote does not wait for the perfect staff to show up. They decide what the business must become in 3 years, then they build the people to get there. That is why you see them training mechanics when they already have mechanics. They are building the next set. What other companies do? They post urgent vacancy and hope a savior walks in. When nobody does, they shrink the vision to fit the team. The business becomes small because the thinking is small. What you should do if you are an entrepreneur. Write down the 3 roles that would double your business if they existed today. Do not wait to afford them. Start training someone for each role now. Your cousin, your apprentice, your most loyal staff. Give them a title, a learning plan, and a small raise tied to milestones. You are now running a mini Dangote Academy. What you should do if you are unemployed or underemployed. Stop applying only to manager roles. If you have never managed, apply to the academy roles. Graduate trainee, operator trainee, logistics assistant. Enter the system. Dangote managers did not fall from the sky. They grew from the floor. Your job is to get on the floor. The lesson builders create their own weather. Beggars check the forecast. Choose. Step 2. Make yourself or your team plant ready. What? Dangote Nigeria does plant ready means you can be dropped into Obajana, Ibese, or Bajulaki, and you will not cause a shutdown. That means safety consciousness, shift discipline, basic technical literacy, and respect for process. Dangote Academy drills this daily. What other companies do? They hire fast and then spend 6 months correcting bad habits. The new hire comes late, ignores SPPs, and argues with supervisors because nobody taught them industrial culture. What you should do if you are job seeking, learn the culture before the interview. Safety, know what HSE means. Understand why steel-toe boots matter. Discipline, practice waking at 4 a.m. for 2 weeks. Can you do shift? Prove it to yourself first. Basics, if you want to enter cement, know what a kiln does. If you want logistics, learn what telematics tracks. YouTube has plant tours. Watch them. What you should do if you are an entrepreneur, create your own plant-ready checklist for any hire. Day 1, they must pass safety, punctuality, and tool identification. If they fail, do not hire. You are not wicked. You are protecting the business. Does the same. The lesson skills get you interviewed. Industrial discipline gets you kept. Step 3. Use the community advantage. What Dangote Nigeria does? They map host communities and recruit intentionally. That turns potential conflict into cooperation. It also cuts costs. Less relocation, less housing, less attrition. What other companies do? They ignore the local youth and act surprised when the road to the factory is blocked. They call it entitlement. Dangote calls it stakeholder management. What you should do if you are an entrepreneur, wherever you set up, meet the local association first. Announce that you will train and hire from the area. You will get goodwill, market intel, and security. You will also get the first pick of hungry, loyal talent who cannot japa because their family is here. What you should do if you are job seeking. List every major project within 50 kilometers of your house. Cement, food, construction, gas, ports. These sites will always have a community hiring quota. Go to the gate with your documents, not just online. Ask for the community liaison office. That is how many Dangote staff started. The lesson: your village is not a limitation. It is a placement office if you use it well. Step 4. Create data before you ask for promotion. What Dangote Nigeria does? Promotion is tied to measurable output. Tons produced, 0 LTI, downtime reduced, cost saved. The person with the best numbers rises. What other companies do? Promotion is tied to Oga likes me. So everybody plays politics instead of improving production. What you should do if you are employed is start your own performance logbook. Week by week, write: problem I solved, money I saved or made, skill I learned, mistake I owned and fixed. In 6 months, you will have a data file that no manager can ignore. That is how you force a Dangote-style system, even if your company does not have one. What you should do if you are an entrepreneur: score your team monthly. Who is never absent? Who closes tickets fastest? Who trains others? Promote based on that board, not based on who greets you loudest. Your team will respect the process, and the right people will stay. The lesson: in the absence of data, rumor becomes policy. Bring data. Step 5. Treat recruitment as a marketing campaign. What Dangote Nigeria does: they sell a vision. Join us to build Africa. That attracts people who want to build, not just earn. The brand does half the filtering. What other companies do? Their advert says, must be able to work under pressure with little supervision. It reads like a threat, so they attract people who are already broken. What you should do if you are hiring: rewrite your job post. Do not list demands only. Sell the mission. We are on a journey to deliver fresh bread to 10,000 homes in Ibadan. We need a delivery lead who wants to own a route and grow into a depot manager. You will attract builders. What you should do if you are applying: do not send "Dear Sir, I hereby apply." Send, "I saw you are expanding to the Lekki axis. I have been running a dispatch route in Yaba for 2 years with 0 incident. I want to help you replicate that in Lekki." You are now marketing, not begging. The lesson: people do not join companies. They join missions. Leave them one. Final lessons from the Dangote Nigeria case study. Lesson 1. Scale is a decision. Dangote did not find 30,000 workers. He decided to build a business that needed 30,000 workers, then built the system to supply them. If your business is stuck at 3 staff, ask if your vision is also stuck. Lesson 2. Loyalty is injured, not prayed for. People stay at Dangote because they see a path. If your staff can see their next 2 promotions, they will endure today's stress. If they cannot, your competitor is one WhatsApp message away. Lesson 3. The real certificate is proof of work. Dangote's best people have certificates, yes, but they also have scars from the plant, night shifts, and problems solved. If you are unemployed, start collecting scars. Volunteer, intern, fix your church generator, run your street S logistics for free for 1 month. Proof beats paper. Lesson 4. Nigeria's problem is not no jobs. It is no pipelines. Dangote built a pipeline. School to academy, to plant to management. Most companies wait at the mouth of the river with a cup. Build a pipeline and you will never be thirsty. Lesson 5. You are one decision away from changing levels. The Dangote truck assistant, who became a fleet supervisor, made one decision: I will learn this system better than anyone. A graduate who became a plant manager made one decision: I will enter as a trainee and outwork everyone. Your level changes when your decision changes. Your next move, and a promise. We have walked through the story, the principles, the mistakes, and the steps. Information without action is entertainment. And you did not come here to be entertained. You came here to move. So here's what I want you to do today. If you are an entrepreneur, pick one role and start your own academy this week. Name the trainee. If you are job seeking, pick one Dangote-style company or project near you and learn one skill they need. Then show up. If you are underemployed, start your performance logbook tonight. If you are on Social Security, choose dignity over delay. The same hands that filled forms can now learn a trade. I promised you a playbook. You now have it. Before you go, do one thing for me and for yourself. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is where I will break down real job tests, show you how to pass Dangote-style interviews, and bring entrepreneurs who use these principles to grow from zero to factory floor. Do not watch Dangote build Nigeria from the sidelines. Use the same rules and build your own corner of it. Your future team, your future promotion, your future business, they are all waiting for the decision you make after reading this line.